Captain Oren of the Betazoid science vessel. Astral Seeker sneered at the viewscreen displaying Earth. His crew had detected radio signals from the third planet upon entering the solar system, but initial scans revealed a disappointingly primitive civilization. "Prepare to leave this backwater system," Oren commanded, his voice dripping with disdain. "These humans are centuries away from being worthy of contact." The bridge erupted in laughter as the crew mocked Earth's inferior technology. Oren allowed himself a smug smile, savoring the moment of superiority. His finger hovered over the command to engage the warp drive when an urgent beep from the sensor station froze him in place. "Captain, we're detecting anomalous energy signatures from the planet's core," reported his science officer, her antennae twitching with excitement. They predate known galactic civilizations by billions of years." Oren's eyes widened. "Impossible. Recheck your readings." "It confirmed, sir. The energy patterns are unlike anything in our database." Intrigue replaced derision as Oren ordered a covert landing party to investigate. As the Betazoids prepared for their mission, events were unfolding on the planet below that would shatter their perceptions of humanity. In the vast expanse of the Gobi Desert, archaeologist Dr. Lewis Brown carefully brushed sand away from a peculiar object. The artifact, composed of an unknown alloy, bore markings that defied comprehension. Brown's heart raced as he lifted the object from its ancient resting place. The moment his fingers touched its smooth surface, the artifact hummed to life. A faint glow emanated from intricate patterns etched into its sides. Brown gasped, unaware that he had just activated a dormant signal reaching far beyond Earth. Miles beneath the planet's surface, massive structures stirred from eons of slumber. Seismographs worldwide registered minor disturbances as these ancient machines awakened. Under the cover of night, Captain Oren led his landing party to Brown's excavation site. They watched, hidden, as the human examined the glowing artifact. Oren's earlier contempt evaporated, replaced by an overwhelming desire to seize the object. Unable to contain himself, Oren burst from concealment. Brown whirled, clutching the artifact protectively. A struggle ensued, ending abruptly as the object released a blinding pulse of energy. The Betazoids crumpled to the ground, temporarily incapacitated. Brown stumbled backward, his mind reeling from the otherworldly power he'd witnessed. Before he could process what had happened, the night sky lit up with holographic projections. Similar displays appeared at major population centers globally, each showing the same message in an ancient script. Brown's eyes widened with recognition. He had encountered similar writings in other archaeological sites. As he began deciphering the message, the truth of humanity's origins unfolded before him. Earth, it turned out, was once home to an incredibly advanced race. These beings had seeded life throughout the galaxy billions of years ago, and humans were their direct descendants. The holographic message revealed that humanity's true potential lay dormant within their genetic code, waiting to be awakened. As this revelation sank in, Captain Oren regained consciousness. The Betazoid leader struggled to his feet, his earlier mockery of Earth now replaced by awe and fear. He realized that humans, far from being primitive, were the inheritors of the most ancient and powerful civilization known to exist. In that moment, standing beneath the starry desert sky, both human and alien grappled with the implications of this discovery. The balance of power in the galaxy was about to shift dramatically, as humanity stood on the precipice of reclaiming its long-forgotten legacy as the elder race of the stars. The desert night air crackled with tension as Dr. Lewis Brown and Captain Oren faced each other, the glowing artifact between them. The holographic message faded, leaving them in stunned silence. Oren's earlier sneer had vanished, replaced by a look of astonishment and growing apprehension. What just happened?" Oren whispered, his voice hoarse. Brown's mind raced, trying to process the implications of the message. "It seems," he said slowly, "that we humans are far more than we appear." Before Oren could respond, the sound of approaching vehicles filled the air. Headlights pierced the darkness as a convoy of military vehicles surrounded the excavation site. Soldiers poured out, weapons raised, their flashlights sweeping across the alien visitors. "Step away from the artifact," a commanding voice boomed through a megaphone. "This site is now under the jurisdiction of the United Nations." Brown recognized the voice of Marcus Thorne, the UN Secretary General. He hadn't expected such a rapid response to the global phenomenon. As Thorne approached, flanked by security, Brown noticed the man's eyes were fixed on the artifact, a mixture of wonder and tenacity etched on his face. "Dr. Brown," Thorne said, his voice low and urgent, "we need you to come with us immediately. Your expertise is crucial." He then turned to Oren and his crew. "As for you, we have much to discuss." Within hours, the world had changed. News of the ancient message spread like wildfire, governments scrambled to respond, and the United Nations convened an emergency session. Secretary General Thorne wasted no time in establishing the Earth Legacy Initiative, ELI, a global task force dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of humanity's newfound heritage. Dr. Brown found himself at the heart of this whirlwind, working tirelessly in a state-of-the-art facility to decipher the alien language. Days blurred into nights as he pored over holographic projections that continued to appear across the globe. Each breakthrough brought new revelations about humanity's true history and potential. Meanwhile, Captain Oren and his crew faced a predicament of their own. Their ship, the Astral Seeker, hung motionless in Earth's orbit, surrounded by ancient defense platforms that had awakened from their millennia-long slumber. The once proud Betazoid captain now found himself requesting a diplomatic meeting with the very beings he had dismissed as primitive just days ago. In Geneva, Switzerland, a secure facility was hastily prepared for this historic encounter. The air hummed with anticipation as world leaders gathered, their previous squabbles set aside in the face of this paradigm-shifting event. As preparations for the meeting continued, Brown made a startling discovery. Hidden within the complex alien script were instructions for unlocking latent abilities within human DNA. He presented his findings to Thorne, who authorized an immediate controlled experiment. In a specially designed laboratory, a group of volunteers underwent a procedure based on Brown's decryption. The results defied all expectations. Major Sarah Chen, one of the military volunteers, demonstrated strength that bent steel bars like putty. Dr. Aidan Foster, a quantum physicist, found himself able to perceive and manipulate energy fields with his mind. And Captain Lisa Rodriguez discovered she could heal injuries with a mere touch. The implications were staggering. Humanity stood on the brink of an evolutionary leap, reclaiming abilities that had lain dormant for millions of years. As news of these developments spread, General Alexander Frost was appointed as the military liaison to ELI. A man of action with a strategic mind, Frost immediately began integrating the newly discovered ancient technology with modern military systems. Under his guidance, long-abandoned weapons platforms were reactivated and enhanced, preparing Earth for potential threats from the stars. The day of the diplomatic meeting arrived. In a cavernous room within the Geneva facility, world leaders sat across from Captain Oren and his crew. The atmosphere was charged with a mixture of excitement and wariness. Thorne opened the proceedings, his voice steady and diplomatic. "Captain Oren, on behalf of Earth, I welcome you. We stand at a crossroads of history, and there is much we must discuss." Oren, his earlier arrogance replaced by a newfound respect, nodded solemnly. "Indeed, Secretary General, my people have long sought the originators of life in our galaxy. To find that they were here all along, it changes everything." As the diplomatic dance began, Dr. Brown was making another groundbreaking discovery. The artifact from the Gobi Desert wasn't just a messenger, it was a key to a vast network of subterranean facilities left behind by the Elder race. Without hesitation, Brown led an expedition to the first of these sites, buried deep beneath the Antarctic ice. After days of careful excavation, they breached the outer doors of an enormous underground complex. As they stepped inside, lights flickered to life, revealing technology beyond their wildest dreams. In the heart of the facility, Brown approached a central console. As his fingers brushed its surface, a holographic figure materialized before him. It was female in appearance, with lines of energy coursing through its form. "Greetings, descendants," the figure spoke, its voice resonating with ancient power. "I am Gaia, the guardian of Earth's legacy. You have at last reached the level of development necessary for my awakening." As Gaia began to interface with Earth's computer systems, upgrading them at an exponential rate, long-range sensors detected multiple ships entering the solar system. Their intentions were unknown, but their arrival signaled that Earth's resurgence had not gone unnoticed by the galactic community. In Geneva, the diplomatic meeting was interrupted by this urgent news. Thorn and Orin exchanged glances, both aware that the balance of power in the galaxy was shifting rapidly. "It seems," Thorn said, his voice grave, "that Earth's debut on the galactic stage has attracted an audience." Orin nodded, his expression grim. "And not all of them will be pleased to see the return of the elder race." As the unknown ships drew closer, humanity stood at a crossroads. With ancient power awakening in their veins, long-lost technology at their fingertips, and the watchful eye of Gaia upon them, they prepared to face whatever the universe might throw their way. The age of humanity's cosmic inheritance had begun, and the stars themselves seemed to hold their breath in anticipation of what was to come. As the unknown ships approached Earth, Gaia's integration with global systems accelerated at an unprecedented rate. Dr. Lewis Brown found himself working tirelessly alongside the ancient AI, decoding vast amounts of data streaming from the Antarctic facility. "Dr. Brown," Gaia's holographic form flickered to life beside him. "I've detected a network of orbital defense platforms throughout the solar system." Brown's eyes widened as he studied the holographic display. "These platforms, they're massive, and there are dozens of them." Gaia nodded, her ethereal form pulsing with energy. "Correct. Once activated, they will form an impenetrable shield around Earth and its neighboring planets." The news spread quickly. In Geneva, Secretary General Thorn received the information during a tense meeting with world leaders. "This changes everything," Thorn announced, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "We now have the means to protect ourselves from any potential threat." General Alexander Frost, who had been silently observing the proceedings, stepped forward. "With your permission, Secretary General, I'd like to initiate Operation Aegis immediately." Thorn nodded, understanding the urgency. "Proceed, General." Within hours, Frost had assembled a team of Earth's finest engineers and newly enhanced humans. Major James Hawkins, a battle-hardened Special Forces veteran, was chosen to lead the mission. In a secure briefing room, Frost addressed the team. "Your objective is to board and activate these ancient defense platforms. This mission is crucial for Earth's survival." Hawkins, his eyes gleaming with persistence, nodded. "We won't let you down, sir." As Operation Aegis commenced, Secretary General Thorn faced mounting pressure from world leaders demanding access to the elder race's technology. "We cannot allow this power to be monopolized," the Russian president argued during an emergency video conference. Thorn raised his hand, calling for silence. "I understand your concerns. That's why I'm establishing the Galactic Heritage Council. This international body will oversee the fair distribution and implementation of our newfound knowledge and technology." The announcement seemed to quell the immediate tensions, but Thorn knew the real challenges were just beginning. In orbit, Major Hawkins and his team approached the first defense platform. The massive structure loomed before them, its surface etched with intricate patterns that pulsed with latent energy. "All right, team," Hawkins spoke into his comm. "Let's bring this behemoth online." As they worked to activate the platform, long-range sensors on Earth detected a new threat. Gaia's voice echoed through command centers worldwide. "Alert! I've identified an incoming fleet belonging to the Arcturian Dominion. They are known for conquering less advanced worlds and have likely intercepted transmissions about Earth's awakening." In Geneva, Captain Orin's antennae twitched nervously as he provided crucial intelligence to Earth's leaders. "The Arcturians have long sought the secrets of the elder race. They believe it will grant them supremacy over the galaxy." Thorn's face hardened as he processed this information. Then we must be prepared for conflict. Meanwhile, in the depths of the Antarctic facility, Dr. Brown made a startling discovery. A hidden chamber housed advanced biotechnology beyond anything he had ever seen. "Gaia!" he called out, his voice filled with awe. "What is this?" The AI's hologram appeared beside him. "This technology can unlock the full potential of human DNA on a global scale. Shall we proceed with activation?" Brown hesitated for a moment, considering the implications. Then, with a deep breath, he nodded. "Do it." As Gaia initiated the process, a wave of change swept across Earth's population. Humans worldwide began experiencing enhanced physical and mental capabilities. In a research lab in London, Sarah Jones, a young physicist working on ELI's energy team, gasped as her mind expanded exponentially. Complex equations and theories suddenly became clear to her, as if a fog had lifted from her consciousness. "This is incredible," she whispered, her fingers flying across a touchscreen as she input a series of groundbreaking formulas. Within hours, Jones's innovations in energy manipulation and quantum mechanics revolutionized Earth's technological capabilities. Power grids were overhauled, transportation systems reimagined, and communication networks enhanced beyond recognition. As Earth underwent this rapid transformation, the Arcturian fleet drew ever closer. General Frost, recognizing the gravity of the situation, implemented a bold strategy. "Major Hawkins," he communicated to the team in orbit, "we're deploying our enhanced military forces to the platforms. You'll be coordinating the integration of our soldiers with the ancient defense systems." Hawkins acknowledged the order, his mind racing with the tactical possibilities. "Understood, sir. We'll be ready." As tensions reached a fever pitch, Gaia's voice cut through the chaos once more. "Alert, I'm detecting a massive energy surge from Mars." All eyes turned to the red planet as a colossal structure began to emerge from beneath its surface. Gaia's analysis was swift and astonishing. The Martian facility is a shipyard, capable of constructing advanced spacecraft using the planet's resources. It dwarfs the Antarctic complex in size and complexity. Secretary General Thorne wasted no time. "Dr. Brown, we need you to lead an expedition to Mars immediately. Explore and activate that shipyard. We may need those ships sooner than we think." As Brown's team raced towards Mars, the activation of the shipyard triggered a chain reaction throughout the solar system. Similar facilities on other planets and moons awakened, revealing a vast network of elder race infrastructure spanning the entire solar system. Earth now controlled an immense industrial and military complex, but time was running out. The Arcturian fleet was mere days away from reaching Earth's orbit. In the Martian shipyard, Dr. Brown marveled at the scale of the operation. Massive robotic arms moved with precision, assembling starships at an incredible pace. "Gaia," he called out, "how long until we have a functional fleet?" The AI's response was encouraging. "At current production rates, we will have a small but formidable fleet ready within 48 hours. Back on Earth, Major Hawkins coordinated the final preparations on the orbital platforms. Enhanced soldiers interfaced with the ancient systems, their newly awakened abilities allowing for seamless integration. As the first Arcturian ships appeared at the edge of the solar system, humanity stood united, poised on the brink of a conflict that would determine their place in the galactic order. The elder race's legacy hummed with power throughout the solar system, ready to defend its inheritors against the coming storm. As the Arcturian fleet approached the edge of the solar system, the Martian shipyard hummed with unprecedented activity. Dr. Lewis Brown stood at the heart of the facility, his eyes darting between holographic displays showing the rapid construction of advanced spacecraft. "Gaia, status update," Brown called out, his voice echoing through the cavernous chamber. The AI's ethereal form materialized beside him. "Production is exceeding initial projections, Dr. Brown. We are constructing vessels at a rate of 1 every 3.7 hours. Brown nodded, a mixture of awe and willpower etched on his face. "Incredible. Let's hope it's enough." On Earth, General Alexander Frost paced the command center, his eyes fixed on the tactical displays. He turned to his communications officer. "Get me Major Hawkins." Within moments, Hawkins's face appeared on the main screen. Frost wasted no time. "Major, I need you to oversee the training of our enhanced pilots on Mars. We're sending them your way now." Hawkins saluted crisply. "Understood, sir. We'll have them combat ready in no time." As the first wave of enhanced pilots departed for Mars, Sarah Jones burst into the command center, her eyes wild with excitement. "General Frost, we've done it." Frost turned, eyebrow raised. "Done what exactly?" Jones pulled up a complex series of equations on the nearest display. "We've cracked the code on the elder race's propulsion technology. Not only can we now transport resources and personnel between Earth and Mars in a matter of hours, but we've also developed energy shields and weapon systems that rival anything in the known galaxy." Frost's eyes widened as he absorbed the implications. "Outstanding work, Dr. Jones. Begin implementation immediately." As Earth's defenses rapidly evolved, Gaia's voice cut through the bustling activity. "Alert! Anomalous activity detected on Europa." All eyes turned to the massive view screen as images of Jupiter's icy moon filled the display. Huge cracks were forming across its surface, and energy readings were off the charts. Dr. Brown's voice came through the comms. "This has to be another elder race facility. The geological disturbances are consistent with a massive structure activating beneath the ice." Secretary General Marcus Thorne stepped forward, his face set with dedication. "We need to investigate immediately. Who do we have that can handle extreme conditions like that?" General Frost consulted his datapad. "Commander Ethan Drake, sir. He's got extensive deep-sea exploration experience and military training. He's our best bet." Thorne nodded. "Make it happen, General." Within hours, Commander Drake stood before a team of elite soldiers and scientists, the sleek forms of advanced submersibles looming behind him. "Listen up, people. We're heading into unknown territory. Europa's conditions are extreme, but so is our equipment. Stay alert, stay alive, and let's find out what's hiding under all that ice." As Drake's team blasted off towards Europa, the first wave of ships emerged from the Martian shipyard. Major Hawkins stood on the bridge of the lead vessel, his enhanced crew working in perfect synchronization around him. "All ships, report in," Hawkins commanded. One by one, the captains of Earth's new fleet confirmed their readiness. Hawkins allowed himself a small smile. "All right, people, let's show these Arcturians what we're made of. Deploy to your assigned positions and prepare to defend our solar system." Back on Earth, the global population was undergoing a transformation unlike anything in human history. In homes, offices, and public spaces around the world, people suddenly found themselves connected in ways they never imagined possible. In a small apartment in Tokyo, a young woman gasped as she suddenly felt the thoughts and emotions of her neighbors washing over her. Across the globe in Rio de Janeiro, a street vendor stopped mid-transaction, overwhelmed by the sudden influx of mental voices from the crowd around him. As humanity grappled with its newfound telepathic abilities, Dr. Brown made another groundbreaking discovery on Mars. Poring over ancient data files, he uncovered references to a superweapon of unimaginable power. "Gaia!" Brown called out, his voice tinged with urgency. "What can you tell me about this weapon system?" The AI's response was immediate. "The superweapon is designed to neutralize entire fleets. It is hidden on one of Saturn's moons, but activation requires a specific genetic key. Only a direct descendant of the elder race can unlock its power." Brown's mind raced with the implications. "We need to find that descendant, and fast." On Earth, Gaia initiated a global genetic scan. Within hours, the search narrowed to a single individual, Alex Ryder, a 20-year-old college student from Montana. General Frost wasted no time. "Captain Reeves, I want you to personally escort Mr. Ryder to Saturn. His safety is now your top priority." As Captain Samantha Reeves and her team raced to secure Alex Ryder, the Arcturian fleet entered the solar system. Their massive ships cast long shadows across the void as they approached Jupiter. In the ELI Command Center, a junior officer called out, "Sir, we're detecting unusual energy fluctuations within the Arcturian fleet. It looks like internal weapons fire?" Secretary General Thorne leaned forward, his brow furrowed. "They're fighting among themselves." Captain Oren, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward. "Not all Arcturians believe in this invasion. Some fear retribution from the elder race, from us." Thorne's eyes lit up with realization. "This could be our chance. Captain Oren, I need you to go to the Arcturian fleet as our envoy. See if you can negotiate with the dissenting factions." As Oren departed on his diplomatic mission, Commander Drake's team made their descent through Europa's icy crust. Their advanced submersibles cut through the frigid water, powerful lights illuminating the alien seascape. Suddenly, one of Drake's team members called out, "Commander, you need to see this." Drake's jaw dropped as he took in the sight before him. A vast, bioluminescent city stretched out across the ocean floor, teeming with graceful, otherworldly creatures that moved with clear intelligence and purpose. "My God," Drake whispered, "we're not alone down here." As the aquatic lifeforms approached Drake's submersibles, their intentions unclear, Earth's forces spread across the solar system braced for the coming conflict. The fate of humanity, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance as the heirs of the elder race prepared to face their first true test. Test. The fate of humanity, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance as the heirs of the elder race prepared to face their first true challenge. Commander Ethan Drake watched in awe as the bioluminescent creatures approached his submersible. Their bodies pulsed with intricate patterns of light, clearly a form of communication. Drake's mind raced, searching for a way to establish contact. "Dr. Chen," he called to the team's xenobiologist, "can we translate these light patterns?" Chen's fingers flew across her console. "Working on it, Commander. Our AI is analyzing the patterns now." Suddenly, a melodic series of clicks and whistles filled the submersible's cabin. Chen's eyes widened. It's speaking to us." Drake leaned forward, his heart pounding. "This is Commander Ethan Drake of Earth. We come in peace and seek your assistance." The creatures, which the team would soon learn called themselves the Europans, responded with a series of rapid clicks. Chen's translation software worked overtime, converting the sounds into English. "Greetings, Earth dwellers. We have long awaited your arrival. The Elder One spoke of your return." Drake exchanged surprised glances with his team. "The Elder Ones? You mean the Elder Race?" "Yes," the Europan replied. "They left us as guardians of this world to await the day their children would return." Over the next few hours, Drake and his team engaged in intense negotiations with the Europans. The aquatic beings, impressed by humanity's awakening and the threat they faced, agreed to join forces against the Arcturian invasion. "Our bioorganic technology will bolster your defenses," the Europan leader explained, gesturing to a shimmering, translucent structure. "These living shields can adapt to any form of attack." As Drake's team worked to integrate the Europan technology with Earth's defenses, Captain Samantha Reeves's ship streaked through space, its advanced propulsion system leaving a trail of distorted spacetime in its wake. In the ship's main cabin, Alex Rider stared out at the stars, his mind blown from the revelation of his heritage. Reeves approached, her face set with perseverance. "We're approaching Titan," she announced. "Are you ready for this?" Ryder nodded, his voice barely above a whisper. "I have to be, don't I? The fate of Earth depends on it." As their ship entered Titan's atmosphere, the swirling orange haze parted to reveal a desolate landscape of icy rock and methane lakes. Reeves piloted the craft towards a set of coordinates provided by Gaia, bringing them to a stop above what appeared to be a featureless expanse of frozen terrain. "This can't be right," Reeves muttered, double-checking her instruments. Suddenly, Ryder gasped, clutching his head. "No, it's here. I can feel it." As if in response to his words, the ground beneath them began to shift and crack. A massive section of the icy surface slid apart, revealing a yawning chasm that stretched deep into Titan's core. Reeves guided their ship into the opening, descending into a vast underground cavern. As they touched down on a smooth metallic platform, lines of pulsing energy lit up around them, converging on a central structure that towered above everything else. The superweapon, Ryder breathed, his eyes wide with awe. Back on Mars, Dr. Lewis Brown and Major James Hawkins stood in the control room of the Martian shipyard, watching as the newly constructed fleet took shape before their eyes. "Incredible," Hawkins murmured, his enhanced vision allowing him to pick out minute details of the ship's construction. "With the European shield technology integrated into our designs, these vessels will be nearly impenetrable." Brown nodded, his fingers dancing across a holographic display. "And with the advancements in propulsion and weapon systems, we'll have the speed and firepower to match the Arcturians." In a nearby hangar, enhanced human pilots ran through intense simulations, their neural interfaces allowing them to control their ships with mere thoughts. Hawkins watched their progress on a series of monitors, a smile of satisfaction on his face. "They're learning fast," he remarked. "By the time the Arcturians reach us, we'll be more than ready for them." On Earth, Secretary General Marcus Thorne stood in the heart of the Global Defense Command Center, surrounded by a dizzying array of holographic displays. Gaia's ethereal form hovered nearby, constantly updating the tactical situation. "The global defense grid is online, Mr. Secretary," Gaia reported. "All major population centers are now protected by energy shields, and our weapon platforms are at full readiness." Thorne nodded, his eyes scanning the displays. "And the stealth satellite network?" "General Frost reports that deployment in the asteroid belt is complete," Gaia replied. "The system is fully operational and ready to confuse the Arcturian sensors." As Earth's defenses fell into place, the Arcturian fleet pushed past Jupiter, their massive ships casting long shadows across the gas giant's swirling surface. But all was not well within the invasion force. Captain Oren stood on the bridge of Admiral Zixtar's flagship, watching as a significant portion of the Arcturian fleet broke formation, turning away from their original course. "You've made the right decision, Admiral," Oren said, turning to the tall, multi-limbed alien beside him. Zixtar's compound eyes flickered with uncertainty. "I hope you're right, Captain. If the Elder race truly has awakened, continuing this invasion would be suicide." As the defecting Arcturian ships fell into formation with Earth's forces, the remaining invaders pressed on, seemingly undeterred by the loss of their comrades. On Titan, Alex Rider approached the towering structure of the superweapon, his heart pounding in his chest. Captain Reeves stood back, her hand resting on her sidearm, ready for any unexpected threats. "How do we activate it?" Reeves asked, her eyes darting around the cavernous space. Ryder placed his hand on a smooth panel at the base of the structure. Immediately, lines of energy began to pulse up the length of the weapon, converging at its tip. I think I know what to do," Ryder said, his voice tinged with awe. "But it requires more than just touching it. I need to fully connect with the system." Reeves watched as Ryder closed his eyes, his body beginning to glow with an otherworldly light. The superweapon responded, its energy output increasing exponentially. Suddenly, Ryder's eyes snapped open, now glowing with the same energy that suffused the weapon. When he spoke, his voice echoed with power. "It's done. The weapon is online." As the final pieces of Earth's defense strategy fell into place, Gaia's voice cut through the tense atmosphere of the command center. "Alert! New contact detected at the edge of the solar system. Massive energy signatures consistent with a large fleet." Thorne's blood ran cold as he processed the implications. "How many ships?" Gaia's response was grim. "Initial estimates suggest a force at least 5 times larger than the first wave." A heavy silence fell over the command center as the true scale of the threat became clear. Earth's forces, even with their new allies and technologies, were about to face an enemy that vastly outnumbered them. As the second Arcturian fleet began its advance into the solar system, Earth's defenders steeled themselves for the battle to come. The enhanced humans, newly awakened elder race technology, and unlikely allies would all be put to the test in a conflict that would determine the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. The pieces were in place. The stage was set. As the Arcturian armada drew ever closer, the solar system held its breath, waiting for the spark that would ignite the greatest conflict in human history. The Arcturian Vanguard fleet loomed on the horizon of Mars, a menacing array of sleek ships that seemed to absorb the light from nearby stars. Major James Hawkins stood on the bridge of the ELS Defiant, his enhanced vision allowing him to pick out individual vessels in the enemy formation. "All ships form up," Hawkins ordered, his voice calm despite the tension that gripped the crew. "European forces, take flanking positions. Admiral Zixtar, position your ships at these coordinates." The combined Earth alliance moved with practiced precision, forming a multi-layered defensive barrier between Mars and the incoming hostiles. Hawkins watched as the European bioships glided into position, their organic hulls shimmering with an otherworldly light. On the rust-red surface of Mars, Dr. Louis Brown raced through the ancient facility, his heart pounding in his chest. He had stumbled upon something incredible, a dormant planetary defense system capable of generating a massive energy shield around the entire planet. "This is Brown," he shouted into his comm unit. "I need a team down here immediately. We might have a game-changer on our hands." As Brown worked frantically to reactivate the ancient technology, the battle above Mars began in earnest. The Arcturian ships unleashed a barrage of energy weapons, their beams lancing through space towards Earth's defensive line. Enhanced human pilots sprang into action, their neural interfaces allowing them to react with superhuman speed. Hawkins watched with a mix of pride and awe as Earth's ships danced through the incoming fire, retaliating with precision strikes that sent Arcturian vessels spiraling out of formation. "Sir," a young lieutenant called out, "General Frost reports the stealth satellite network is active." Hawkins nodded, a grim smile on his face. "Let's see how they handle a little confusion." In the asteroid belt, General Alexander Frost observed the unfolding battle through a series of holographic displays. With a gesture, he activated the stealth satellite network. Immediately, false sensor readings began to flood the Arcturian systems. "Enemy ships breaking formation," an officer reported. "They're falling right into our trap." Frost watched as several Arcturian vessels veered off course, lured by phantom sensor ghosts into prepared ambush zones. Earth's forces pounced, engaging the isolated enemy ships in smaller, more manageable skirmishes. Meanwhile, on Titan, Alex Rider stood at the heart of the ancient superweapon, his body suffused with crackling energy. Captain Samantha Reeves looked on in amazement as Ryder's form seemed to shimmer and change, his genetic transformation accelerating. "It's incredible," Ryder gasped, his voice resonating with newfound power. "I can see everything, feel everything." Reeves tapped her comm unit. "Earth Command, this is Captain Reeves. The weapon is operational, but we need precise targeting data to be effective against the Arcturian fleets." As the battle raged near Mars, the icy surface of Europa stirred with activity. Commander Ethan Drake stood alongside his European allies, watching as their organic ships rose from the subsurface ocean. "Remarkable," Drake murmured as a massive bioship unfurled its living solar sails. "How do they function in space?" The European leader, a bioluminescent being named Zalthora, pulsed with patterns of light. "Our vessels adapt to any environment. In space, they generate their own atmosphere and propulsion." Drake nodded, impressed. "Let's hope they're as effective in combat as they are beautiful." The European fleet launched, joining Earth's defensive lines. As they engaged the Arcturians, the bioships demonstrated their unique abilities, regenerating damage almost as quickly as it was inflicted and adapting their defenses to counter enemy weapons. Back on Earth, Secretary General Marcus Thorne stood in the heart of the Global Defense Command Center, Gaia's holographic form hovering beside him. "Activate the planetary shield grid," Thorne ordered, his voice steady despite the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. Gaia's form flickered as she processed the command. "Shield grid activated. All major population centers are now protected." Thorne watched as shimmering domes of energy enveloped cities across the globe. Status on our space forces. Supply lines are holding, Gaia reported. All fleets are currently at 89% operational capacity. As Earth's forces held the line against the Arcturian vanguard, Gaia's avatar suddenly pulsed with urgency. Alert, new contact detected at the edge of the solar system. Massive energy signatures consistent with a large fleet. Thorne's blood ran cold. The second wave, how many? Gaia's response was grim. Initial estimates suggest a force at least 5 times larger than the vanguard. In the asteroid belt, General Frost received the news with steadfast perseverance. He opened a secure channel to a small, nondescript ship hidden among the space rocks. Colonel Kane, you have a go. Infiltrate that lead ship and wreak havoc on their command and control systems. On board the stealth vessel, Colonel Victor Kane and his team of Special Ops soldiers prepared for their high-risk mission. Understood, General. We'll make those oversized squids regret ever entering our solar system. As Kane's ship slipped away, undetected by the approaching Arcturian armada, Alex Rider on Titan made a startling discovery. The superweapon, now fully integrated with his awakened Elder Race abilities, revealed a secondary function. Captain Reeves, Ryder called out, his eyes glowing with ethereal energy. The weapon... It's not just a weapon. It can open a hyperspace portal. Reeves stared at him, stunned. A portal to where? Anywhere, Ryder replied, his voice filled with awe. We could evacuate Earth if things go south, or we could bring in reinforcements from across the galaxy. As this information was relayed to Earth Command, Secretary General Thorne found himself faced with an impossible decision. Focus all efforts on defending their home system, or risk reaching out to unknown civilizations beyond the portal. The battle raged on multiple fronts, near Mars, on Europa, in the asteroid belt, and now potentially expanding beyond the solar system. Earth's forces, pushed to their limits, fought with everything they had against the overwhelming numbers of the Arcturian armada. In the Martian facility, Dr. Brown worked feverishly to bring the planetary defense system online. On Europa, Commander Drake coordinated with the European forces, their bioships proving to be a crucial asset in the space battle. And in the depths of space, Colonel Kane's team approached the massive Arcturian flagship, prepared to strike at the heart of the enemy's command structure. The fate of Earth hung in the balance, with the outcome of these simultaneous conflicts poised to determine not just the survival of humanity, but their place in the galactic order. As the battle entered its most critical phase, the defenders of Earth steeled themselves for what was to come, knowing that their next actions would shape the future of their species and perhaps the entire galaxy. The massive Arcturian fleet loomed ever closer, its sheer size casting a shadow over Earth's defenses. But humanity was not without hope. Deep within the lead ship of the incoming Arcturian main fleet, Colonel Victor Kane and his Special Ops team moved with silent precision. Their advanced stealth suits, derived from Elder Race designs, bent light around them, rendering them nearly invisible. Kane held up a fist, signaling his team to halt as an Arcturian patrol passed by, mere inches from their position. All right, we're approaching the central command node. Kane whispered into his team's secure comm channel. Remember, we get in, plant the virus, and get out. No heroics. As Kane's team infiltrated deeper into the enemy vessel, the battle around Mars intensified. Dr. Lewis Brown's fingers flew across the ancient console, his brow furrowed in concentration as he worked to activate the planetary defense system. "Whew, come on, you beautiful piece of alien tech," Brown muttered, his eyes fixed on the holographic display before him. Suddenly, the facility hummed to life, energy coursing through long, dormant conduits. Outside, a shimmering energy shield blossomed from the surface of Mars, expanding rapidly until it enveloped the entire planet. Major James Hawkins, watching from the bridge of his ship, allowed himself a moment of satisfaction before turning to his tactical officer. "All right, people, let's make this count. All ships, use the shield as cover. Hit-and-run attacks on my mark." The Earth fleet darted in and out of the Martian shield, striking at the confused Arcturian vanguard before retreating to safety. The massive energy barrier flickered and rippled as enemy fire dissipated harmlessly against its surface. Meanwhile, in the space around Jupiter, Commander Ethan Drake stood on the bridge of his flagship, surrounded by a dazzling array of holographic displays. The combined force of human and European ships under his command engaged a significant portion of the Arcturian vanguard, drawing them away from Mars and Earth. Drake watched in awe as a nearby European bioship took a direct hit from an Arcturian energy weapon. The organic hull pulsed and writhed, the damaged section rapidly regenerating before his eyes. "Incredible," Drake breathed, before turning to his European liaison. "Tell your ships to press the advantage. We need to keep the Arcturians focused on us." Back on Titan, Alex Rider stood at the heart of the ancient superweapon, his body crackling with energy. His transformation was complete, elder race genes fully awakened and integrated with his human DNA. Beside him, Captain Samantha Reeves monitored a bank of newly activated consoles. "Alex, I'm picking up a signal from Earth Command," Reeves reported. "They want us to establish a direct link with Gaia for real-time targeting coordination." Ryder nodded, closing his eyes and reaching out with his newly enhanced mind. He felt the vast artificial intelligence of Gaia brush against his consciousness, a flood of data and sensory input threatening to overwhelm him. "Yo, connection established," Ryder said, his voice resonating with otherworldly power. "Gaia, are you receiving targeting data?" "Affirmative, Alex Ryder," Gaia's voice echoed in his mind. "Correlating data from all Earth defense networks now, calculating optimal firing solutions." In Earth's Global Defense Command Center, Secretary General Marcus Thorne paced before a wall of screens displaying the ongoing battles across the solar system. He paused, turning to address a small team of scientists and soldiers. "Dr. Jones, I'm authorizing your mission to Titan," Thorne said, his voice grave. "Study that portal technology. If we can't hold them here, we need an escape plan for our people. And if there are potential allies out there, we need to find them fast." Sarah Jones, a brilliant physicist with cropped silver hair, nodded sharply. "We won't let you down, sir. My team is ready to depart immediately." As Jones and her team blasted off from Earth in a specially equipped research vessel, the battle in the asteroid belt reached a fever pitch. General Alexander Frost's holographic form flickered as he addressed his scattered forces from his command bunker deep within Ceres. "All units, execute maneuver Omega-3, Frost ordered. "Let's make these squids chase shadows while we hit them where it hurts." The stealth satellite network continued to broadcast false sensor readings, causing Arcturian ships to fire at empty space or collide with each other in the chaos. Earth ships darted between asteroids, unleashing precision strikes before disappearing back into the field of rocks and debris. Aboard the Arcturian flagship, Colonel Kane and his team finally reached the central command node. Kane pulled a small device from his pack, attaching it to the pulsing organic circuitry of the alien ship. "Virus uploaded," Kane reported, initiating system-wide broadcast now. Throughout the Arcturian fleet, ships began to lose power, weapons misfired, shields failed, and communication channels filled with static. The virus, crafted with Gaia's insights into Elder Race technology, spread like wildfire through the enemy's systems. As the main Arcturian fleet approached Mars, they found themselves in complete disarray. Earth's forces seized the opportunity, launching a massive coordinated assault. Hawkins' ships darted out from behind the Martian shield, while Drake's combined human-European fleet pressed in from the outer system. On Titan, Alex Rider felt the energy building within the superweapon. With Gaia's targeting data and his own enhanced senses guiding him, he took aim at the heart of the Arcturian fleet. Firing in 3, 2, 1. A blinding beam of energy erupted from Titan, lancing across the solar system. It struck the Arcturian fleet with pinpoint accuracy, the beam so bright it was visible from Earth. Hundreds of enemy ships instantly went dark, their systems overloaded and destroyed. The remaining Arcturian forces, now in complete disarray, began a hasty retreat. Cheers erupted across Earth's communication channels as news of the victory spread. But even as the initial wave of elation passed, the leaders of Earth's defense forces knew the battle was just the beginning. A significant portion of the Arcturian fleet remained operational, regrouping at the edges of the solar system. On Titan, Sarah Jones and her team arrived, immediately setting to work on understanding the portal technology. Alex Ryder, still connected to the superweapon, turned to greet them. "Dr. Jones," he said, his voice echoing with newfound power. "I hope you're ready for a crash course in Elder Race physics. We don't have much time." As Earth's forces regrouped and tended to their wounded, the Arcturians lurked at the fringes of the solar system, their next move unknown. The hyperspace portal on Titan hummed with potential, offering both the promise of escape and the possibility of unexpected allies. In the command center on Earth, Secretary General Thorne stood before his advisors, the weight of humanity's future heavy on his shoulders. The next decision would be critical, potentially shaping the course of human history for generations to come. "Ladies and gentlemen," Thorne began, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "We've won the battle, but the war is just the beginning. We need to decide our next move, and we need to decide now. Now, with the Arcturians regrouping at the edge of our system, we face a critical juncture. Our next moves will determine not just the fate of Earth, but potentially the course of galactic history." The room fell silent as Thorne's words sank in. He turned to the holographic display of Gaia, the artificial intelligence's avatar shimmering in the center of the room. "Gaia, what's your analysis of our current situation?" The AI's voice was calm and measured. "Based on all available data, I recommend a two-pronged approach. First, we must consolidate our defenses within the solar system. Second, we should explore the potential of the hyperspace portal on Titan. This strategy offers the highest probability of success against the Arcturian threat." Thorne nodded, his decision made. "Very well. General Frost, you'll lead our defensive efforts. Coordinate with Major Hawkins and Commander Drake to establish a robust perimeter around Earth and our allies." General Alexander Frost's hologram straightened. "Understood, sir. We'll create an impenetrable shield for humanity." "Dr. Jones," Thorne continued, turning to the silver-haired physicist, "your team's work on Titan is now our top priority. Work with Alex Ryder to unlock the secrets of that portal. If we can open a stable connection, it could change everything." On Titan, Sarah Jones and her team worked tirelessly, their efforts bolstered by Alex Ryder's enhanced abilities. The ancient facility hummed with energy as they delved deeper into the mysteries of Elder Race technology. "Alex, we need more power to stabilize the portal matrix," Jones called out, her fingers flying over a holographic interface. Ryder nodded, closing his eyes and reaching out with his mind. Energy crackled around him as he channeled power into the portal systems. The air shimmered and warped, a faint outline of a gateway appearing in the center of the chamber. "It's working!" one of the scientists exclaimed. "We're getting a stable reading." Jones's eyes widened as data flooded her screens. "This is incredible. We're picking up a signal from another star system, one that's not in any of our charts." The portal flickered and solidified, revealing a mesmerizing view of an alien sky. Jones turned to Captain Samantha Reeves, who had been overseeing the security of the Titan facility. "Captain, we need to send a team through. This could be the breakthrough we've been hoping for." Reeves nodded, her expression determined. "I'll lead the expedition myself. Assemble a team of our best soldiers and scientists. We leave as soon as we're ready." As preparations for the expedition began, Earth's defenses underwent a massive overhaul. The Martian shipyards, their Elder Race technology now fully operational, worked at unprecedented speeds. New ships rolled off the production lines, incorporating the latest advancements gleaned from their rediscovered heritage. Major James Hawkins stood on the bridge of his newly upgraded flagship, marveling at the holographic displays that surrounded him. "I never thought I'd see the day when we'd be flying ships like this," he murmured to his second-in-command. In the space around Jupiter, Commander Ethan Drake coordinated with the European forces, their bio ships now seamlessly integrated into Earth's defensive network. The combined fleet ran complex battle simulations, preparing for every possible Arcturian attack scenario. Back on Titan, Captain Reeves stood before the shimmering portal, her hand-picked team assembled behind her. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the unknown. "Remember your training," she addressed her team. "We're about to step into a part of the galaxy no human has ever seen. Stay alert, stay together, and let's make history." With a nod to Dr. Jones, Reeves led her team through the portal. There was a moment of disorientation, a rush of impossible colors and sensations, and then they emerged in orbit around a structure of breathtaking scale. A massive ringworld stretched out before them, its inner surface covered in continents and oceans that curved up and out of sight. "My God," Reeves breathed, her voice filled with awe. "It's like something out of a science fiction novel." As they maneuvered closer, they detected countless signs of advanced civilization. Cities of impossible architecture dotted the landscape, while ships of varied and exotic designs moved through the ring's atmosphere. Suddenly, their communication system crackled to life. A melodious voice, speaking in a language that somehow felt familiar yet alien, echoed through their ship. "Welcome, children of Earth," the voice said, seamlessly translating into English. "We have long awaited your return." Reeves exchanged glances with her team, a mix of excitement and trepidation on their faces. She cleared her throat and responded, "This is Captain Samantha Reeves of Earth. We come in peace and friendship. May we request permission to dock and meet with your leaders?" There was a pause, and then the voice returned, warmth evident in its tone. "Permission granted, Captain. We have much to discuss. The legacy of the elder race lives on in you, and together we shall face the challenges that lie ahead." As Reeves's ship approached a massive docking station, the implications of this encounter began to sink in. They had not just discovered a new civilization, they had found a vast network of advanced species, all descendants of the elder race. Earth was no longer alone in the universe. In fact, they were about to take their place among the stars as returning kin. The docking clamps engaged, and Captain Reeves took a deep breath. She turned to her team, her eyes shining with perseverance and hope. "Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go meet the family." As they prepared to disembark, none of them could have imagined the incredible journey that lay ahead, a journey that would reshape the galaxy and redefine humanity's place within it.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.